As you can see, our shafts came in and our bearings. So these bearings are from Linear Motion Solutions, PVC Linear Motion Solutions. These are ball bearings, pillow blocks. The shafts that we're going to use are 1.25 inches in diameter, solid, and of course these are the bearings. The shafts are going to be attached to the table like this on each end, and of course these bearings is what the saw is going to ride on. We're going to have 2 of these shafts, and then we're going to bridge it across with aluminum plate, and we're going to put the saw on the aluminum plate, and of course that's going to go right down to the other side. I mean, these bearings are freaking amazing. Look at this. This shaft is, how heavy do you think it is, Danny?
Real heavy.
So this is one of the shafts. Man, I'm gonna say at least 30 pounds. We'd have to weigh one to really know for sure. But they're heavy. Okay? So here's the shaft inside the bearings. Of course, it's heavy, but that's how easy it rides. This is way overkill. Why? Because I want to make sure this thing runs straight, and I want to build it one time. I don't want to build it and then realize that I should have built it stronger. So we're going to build it really strong from the get-go. There was a lot of comments on the last video that we made about how there was no way this thing was going to cut accurately. Well, look at what we're using. If this thing doesn't cut accurately, I don't know why. Because there is absolutely no way this thing's not going to track straight. Again, there's going to be almost no friction, and there's no play. It's hard to show you on here, but there's no play between the bearing and the shaft. And we're going to have 4 of these bearings riding on that shaft. So, man, this thing should work really, really good. Now, one issue that we have, in case you haven't noticed, is these shafts are about 5 feet long. Actually, they're a little bit longer than 5 feet, and the table's 10 feet long. They do not reach all the way across. Why? Well, these shafts I could have bought them 10 feet long, and the shafts were close to $400 for 2 shafts. The problem is the shipping was $500. So I'm not gonna pay $500 for shipping. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna chuck these up on my lathe, and I'm gonna make a female side and a male side and a female side, and then I'm going to screw them together. In the meantime, Daniel and I are gonna try to figure out where we're gonna put it, all the good stuff, so that we can put these on here, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna machine the shafts to make sure they go all the way across. So that's the plan. I'm gonna put a copper wire on it before we clamp down on it. That's going to allow it to pivot in the jaws. All right, so here we go. We have it running within, I'm gonna say, 1/1000. So that side is indicated. Now I'm gonna do the other side. When this one's done, I'm gonna go back and check that side. So I'm just gonna go back and forth until they're both running perfectly true. Of course, so I'm gonna be working on the lathe. So before I even turn it on, take off my ring, take off my watch. No long hair, no long sleeves, none of that can potentially get caught in the chuck and kill you. So, or rip a finger off. For those of you that know about lathes and all that, this looks like a 3-jaw, but it's an adjustable 3-jaw. This is a buck chuck set true. So it acts just like a 4-jaw. So I'm gonna indicate the shaft, make sure it's running perfectly true. I have it running within 2/10,000ths of an inch. I mean, this indicator measures in 50 millionths of an inch. Correct, that's 50 millionths. Take an inch, chop it up into 1 million pieces, take 50 of those pieces, and that's the resolution on this indicator. So crazy. This one's running within 2 1,000ths. So I'm gonna get this one to run again within 1/2 thousand, and then we'll start machining. So yeah, it takes a long time. Daniel was just pointing out how much time it takes to do this. I said, well, it takes a long time because I'm trying to do it super precise. If I was simply trying to put 2 shafts together, I would chuck it up in a 3-jaw, which is not very accurate, drill a hole, put a bolt in it, and call it good. My plan is that when I make these 2 shafts together, that you won't even be able to see the seam. That's how perfect they're going to be. Not only they're going to be perfect, they're going to be perfectly flush from one to the other, in which case the bearing's just going to ride right on top from one to the other, and everything's going to be so nice, so perfect. Okay, Daniel, we are running true, so time to machine. The shaft is not, it's cut with a bandsaw, so it's not perfectly square. So I'm going to face it first, and that's going to get us perfectly true. All right, now it's perfectly true. Like that, Danny?
That's pretty awesome.
I have the female rod already machined and threaded. Okay, and I have the other one set up over here, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's already indicated. You can see if I turn it, the indicator doesn't hardly move. So this one's ready to go. This side is the same thing. It's running very true as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the male side over here, and obviously the female side is over here. Now this is what I decided to do. This is what the male side looks like. Okay, it's threaded, and then we have, this one actually has a 1/4 inch. The other one's gonna have 1/2 inch of a boss right here, and this is where they're gonna mate up. So this one is threaded, and then it has a thread relief to accept that boss that this other shaft has. And you can tell here they're coming close together, and as I get it tighter, or as I get it, tighter, this one really snugs up, and you can tell there's absolutely no play. Obviously I'm not gonna get it tight on there all the way, because I know that's all I need. I don't want to run the risk of galling it, so I'm gonna pull it off, and I'm going to go and machine the other one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to face this shaft, because again it's cut with a bandsaw, so it's not perfectly square. So I'm gonna show you how out of square it is. It's pretty close, but it's not close enough for what we're trying to do. I'm gonna stop it just so you can see. I got red all over the face. So you can see we almost got it, except for this right here. Another 5 thousandths. That should be able to get it all. I'm gonna run this without coolant so that you guys can see. All right, it's done. This is the exact same size that the threads are going to be on the female rod. So this thread's on, that tells me that this male part will thread onto the female part. We're good to go. I took this shaft with a male part and turned it around on the lathe so I could chuck it. And this is the female side. I'm gonna put a little bit of anti-seize on it, especially on this flat portion. I wanna make sure I don't gall it in case it's too tight. Moment of truth. All right, it's threading on. That's a good sign. All right, it's getting snug. They're both turning now. We're gonna put an adjustable wrench on the chuck. Keep it from turning. All right, that's as far as I can get it by hand. So, as you can see, you almost can't see the shaft or wherever they meet up, the joint. Now we're gonna take these shafts, put them on the saw table, and the next thing we're gonna work on is the saw itself, how we're gonna mount the saw to the bearings that go on these shafts. That should be the easy part. Anyway, we'll see you next time. We are Texas Barndominiums.